Hello and welcome back to Power Virtual Agents Basics. In this first session, we're going to go and set up an environment that you can use in the labs that we've got for you. Labs are really good for foundational understanding, getting hands-on with the product. Of course, you can play around with it. It's an environment that's throwaway. It will be deleted after 30 days. So you can literally just use it for playing around. And I highly recommend that you set up your own environment rather than asking your company to do it. It's really easy to set this up. So we're going to go through that. It'll take about 10-15 minutes and we're going to go through that. There's 3 steps. First is you need to download the lab files. The second is to set up an environment, and the third is to import a solution, which we'll talk you through on that. So let's go through that in turn. First of all, the first one is easy. In the file section of this course, so just above here, in the menu at the top here, there's a file section. If you click on that, there is a zip file called PVA basics-attendee files.zip. Download that, and it's a zip file that you'll get, and extract the zip file, and here are the files that you need. So these are all of the labs that we're going to go through. We're actually going through one now. We're setting up your tenant now. There isn't actually a step-by-step guide for this, so this is the only way you can do it on this video. But then all the rest of it here, are all the lab documents that you need. There's also a copy of the training slides, the slides that we're going through, which is really good. And then there's this thing here, this other zip file, which is the solution that we need to import, and I'll talk about that in a second. So once you've downloaded that and unzipped that, so press pause, go and do that, and then come back and unpause. Okay, task number 2 is setting up an environment. So I have my virtual machine open here. There's a couple of things to do first of all. First of all, make sure that you have a throwaway email address. Now you can use your own email address. That's totally fine. But your work one probably won't work. If you're Office 365 tenant, it probably won't work. So you'll need to go and get a throwaway email address. So go over to outlook.com, create a free account, go crazy, whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. Create a free account there because you will need that to sign up for the trial. So once you've got your free account here, you're then going to go to this URL. Oh, the other tip is either use a browser in incognito mode, or you can create a new profile in your browser. So if you use Chrome or Edge, you can go here and you can create a new. I'm not going to create a new profile here because I'm actually using one already. But you can add a profile here. So you click on your name up here and then click add a profile. What that will do is that will help keep you sane, because if you're logged into other sites and then you've got this site as well, you don't want that test email to persist around afterwards, or for it to if you go to Office 365, you want it to go to your work account rather than going to this demo account. So by either using it incognito or by using a separate profile, it will help you stay sane. So those 2 things: get an email, use a profile, or use incognito. Once you've done all of those things, go to aka.ms/try PVA, and that will redirect you to this page here. And you want to click on try free. And then you put in your email address that you signed up for here, and you go through some things. Now, when you go into this stage here and ask for your account info, it will ask you for a phone number. Make sure you put in a mobile number there because it will text you a code that you will then confirm before setting up your trial. Once you've set up the trial, it really is easy to do that. Once you've done that, you'll then be presented with a screen that I'll show you now. I've already got a tenant set up for my stuff, so I'm going to not sign up here. Just close out of that. So try free, because I'm logged in already, it's going to take me to the page where. So once you finish signing up, it will say you've already got an account. It will say great, and then you can click on get started, and then you'll come to this page here. This page here will probably prompt you for a where is your location dialog will pop up first. Fine, just click OK on that. But then once you're at this, sorry, don't click OK, choose your location, then click OK. Once you've done that, then you're presented with this screen and you're good to go in terms of you have set up your environment OK, which is good. The third thing you want to do is let's go back to the slides. The third thing, so now you've set up your environment, you've got that trial working. The third thing you want to do is import a solution. So this is used for one of the, I think it's lab 5, where we're going to use some of this stuff. So we're going to go and import a solution. So how you import a solution is you go to the waffle here and you go on to Power Apps. So open that and go to Power Apps, and that will take you to this screen here. When you're at this screen, you click on Solutions. And I'm just going to get this. Just one second, I'm just going to grab the... You're going to need this file here, so make sure you've got access to this file. I'm just going to make sure I've got it in this environment here. Okay. So you're in Solutions, we're going to go Import. Click on Import. And you're going to click Browse. And you're going to click on your PVA in a day 1111 managed, and click on Open that, and click on Next. And Next. Now you're going to get these two prompts. What you need to do is click on, so yours won't have these already pre-filled. You click on here, click on New Connection. It will then open up this dialog, and you just click Create. Pick an account. This will be the account that you signed up with for your trial. Click on that. Skip for now if you get that prompt. It's just setting up two-factor. So you'll do that for the first one. Click on Refresh, and then the connection will appear here. Similarly, new connection. Click on Create. Pick an account, make sure it is your demo account. Skip for now. This is, if you get this dialog, it's asking you to set up two-factor authentication. You can always just click Skip. You don't need to worry about that. And then you go back to here. Oh, sorry, back to here. And it will say Refresh, and click on Refresh. And then you choose your connection from here. Once you've set up those two connections, you click on Import, and it's now going to import that solution. We can close these two tabs up here. You'll see that this grey bar here is saying Importing Solution. It can take a minute or so for it to import, so just be patient with it. Eventually it will turn green. By the way, if you're seeing lots of solutions, fewer or more solutions in here than what I've got, it's totally fine. Don't worry about what you see here. If yours doesn't look like this, that's totally fine. I've just got a lot of things in this environment. I've been using it for other training, so I've got quite a lot of things in here as well. So don't stress if you don't have as many things here. So yeah, it can take a while for it to import. So after a few minutes, you'll see that that bar turns green, and that's cool. We'll just double check it is in here. So I'm just scroll down here. PVA in a day. So just make sure that you've got a solution called PVA in a day. Open that up. We will cover solutions in the course, so don't worry if you don't know what this is all about. We will cover solutions in the course later on, and that looks pretty good to me, so that's good. One thing we do need to do is we need to go to this here. It's going to create data in device orders. Click on that, and we need to run it. And just click on run. Continue, run flow. That just creates some dummy data. Yep, excellent. I've got a. You'll only have one user in your dev environment, and that's totally fine for the work. Cool. Okay, that's it. So all you need to do is that. So now you've set up your environment. You should have the lab files. You should have your environment set up in a new, in either in private browser session or in a separate profile, and you've imported that solution and run that setup data flow, and you're ready to go. If you are stuck, hit this chat to us in support, and we'll help you out. Just to give you an idea of the flow of these of the courses. So this is directly from PVA in a day. You'll be able to, you can see the course structure in the online course outline. What we're going to do is we'll be building a first chatbot, creating topics from web pages, and then improving your chatbot using entities and talking about variables and things like that. Each of those has a lab component, and the way we're going to do the labs is I'll talk through the content and then guide you through what the labs are intended to do. The lab documents are excellent. They really are excellent. If I just open up one of them, for example. So I highly encourage you in doing the labs to read the scenario and read the content. It is really good content. So it's not just about pointing and clicking. It's part of the learning journey is doing the labs. So yeah, highly recommend that you go through those. So we're not going to point and click through every lab. There will be a bit of a setup for the lab, and then you can do the lab in your own time and then come back to the next course. We're going to go through Power Automate and do some Power Automate stuff. Then we'll talk a bit about authentication. The lab for that, we're not going to cover all of that lab at all, but it will give you the steps to set up authentication should you so wish to. There's no lab for handing off to support agent. There's a few here that have no labs. It's just about talking through and introducing some concepts. Export and importing a chatbot, that's using solutions. Then we get into teams. We'll cover a little bit of that lab, but then there's a lot of stuff to do in your own time if you so wish. And then module 4, the 11 to 14, these are really the theory ones. So the hands-on stuff is first, and then we'll get into some theory around topic design, best practices for writing trigger phrases, chatbot conversation style. There's no labs on these, but there are some quizzes that you can play along with and are good for learning. And then we'll look a little bit into analytics of how to monitor what's going on with the chatbot and how to improve it, and then we'll close it out at the end. So that's the agenda. The overall structure in the course might differ than that a little bit, but these are the topics that we're definitely going to cover in the course. So, having said that, thank you for watching. Thank you for setting up your environment, and let's get into the first of the labs.